It's in regards to working with people, and like, if you're working, let's say you have a job to do for someone. Someone asks you to do a job for them, and it's a certain amount of money, and you go there and you perform the work because you know more or less what the problem is. And a few days later, the same problem happened. You go again, you fix the problem because you know generally what it will be. And again, a few days later, the same problem. Then when you do search, and it's manufacturer, so the money you got paid, is it like, since the job wasn't completed like they wanted, do you return that money, or that money is still yours since you spend the time to do the job anyways?
You ordered some, I'm sorry, I lost you at some point. Repeat it again.
Okay. You were asked to do a job. Yes. So let's say you're fixing something.
A job to fix something,
to
like
fix
a service
something.
job, or
yeah.
the job like you're providing a product?
Okay. No, a service job.
Okay.
Like, okay, someone has their computers broken,
okay,
and they want it to be fixed.
You did the job, okay, and then you fixed it, and you came back a few days later, it's broken again. You fixed it, and broken later.
Yes.
You have to charge them every single time.
So, but since the problem wasn't resolved, at the end of the day, it's not because of the work wasn't done. It was done, but it was manufactured. The problem was
okay.
like the printer was bad and it's not connecting.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so you got hired to do a service job, and you did the job. You serviced it, but it kept breaking because the actual product in itself is broken, not because of you. You still charge for your time. You still are entitled to get paid, because in the business world, it's not like the Torah world. That's the major difference between the business world and the world. In the business world, whether you succeed or fail, you still get you charge. You charge because if you're a lawyer, defends you in a case, and he's going to charge you. He's going to take a $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 retainer, depending on your case and depending how much money you have, which he's sure to double check before he talks to you the first time, before he decides what the bill is. And after he charges you that retainer, he's going to defend you. He's going to do some work. And if you lose the case, he doesn't refund you the money. If somebody says, "Listen, I'm the best doctor in the world. Look at all the plaques that I have on the walls. Look at all the commercials and all the people in the magazines writing about me, and I could do a surgery, and the surgery goes bad, and the person dies." Guess what? He still gets paid. The insurance company will still give him a check, a big one, for that surgery. Why? Because he still did the work. He still did the work. He has to get paid. Same concept. You got hired to do a job under the understanding that it is not an unsolvable problem, but rather it's a solvable problem, because had you known and had the owner known that this is not a solvable problem, you would have never agreed to do the job. You only agreed to do the job because the owner, in essence, gave you information under his understanding or her understanding that this is a solvable job. They just don't know how to do it. They need to hire you. So you only agreed to come because it is a solvable job. You would have never come and done what you did if had you known that you can't fix it. Therefore, you have to get paid, even though the job itself could not be done, because it's not your problem. It's not your job to fix. You did what you had to do, and that's, in essence, that's the truth. Now,
you have to feel bad about not solving it. The person will feel like, oh, you never give me the solution, so you don't have to feel.
Does the doctor feel bad that he killed the patient? Yes, but he still charges the money. Why? Because he still did the job. He still has to get paid. He still has employees. He still has to keep the lights on. Does the lawyer feel bad if he loses the case? Maybe. I'm not really sure about that. But assuming he does, assuming he has a heart in him, and he does feel bad, then he still charges the money. He's like, listen, I feel so bad, let me give you the money back. Never in the history of man has that happened. I know, I spent over $500,000 on lawyers. I have a Harvard degree in lawyers. After you spend $500,000 on lawyers, you can know everything about lawyers. All types of lawyers. Big lawyers, small lawyers, stupid lawyers, other stupid lawyers. Some smart ones here and there, but still not necessarily the best. Point being is, it's the lawyer takes the job. I'll give you a situation of a lawyer. I I had an agreement. I was going to sell a piece of my business for a valuation of, I think it was $48 million. And I was going to sell it. I was going to get $4.8 million from the guy. He was going to buy 10% of the business. And long story short, he had to come up with the money by selling a piece of real estate. And or not selling a piece of real estate, by borrowing some money against one of his real estate. Long story short, he needed some liquid money and to do some other deal that he was doing. And he asked me, he's like, listen, do you know anybody that come up with a $500,000 or $1 million? I was like, yeah, I can give you $500,000. You're giving me, once we finalize this deal and you get the money for what you're doing, I'm getting $4.8 million from you. So, you know, we're doing business. It's not like I don't know the guy. So I said, I'll give you $500,000. And we'll have the agreement that, we'll add this to the agreement that you're not only going to give me the $4.8 million, but you'll give me now $5.3. Because you owe me $500,000. But there has to be a separate agreement for this $500,000. So the lawyers drafted up an agreement. They charged me $17,000 for this agreement. Now, when a lawyer charges you $17,000 for an agreement, you don't spend too much time double checking it. Why? Because you spend $17,000 on 4 pages of paper. Surely somebody out of the 800 lawyers they have double checked what they're doing. So I signed, he signed, I sent the money. And I'm still waiting for the money 10 years later, 14 years later. How come? How come I'm still waiting? Because the whole market crashed within the deal, meaning he never got the money for that real estate that he had. He ended up losing the building. And on top of it, the stupid lawyer, which was one of the top law firms in New York and probably in the country, the dumbest lawyer on planet Earth, charged $900 an hour. What did they do? They made the future ownership in my business that the guy was going to own the collateral for the $500,000 that I gave him. Meaning, they made something he doesn't own yet the collateral for the money that he owes me. In so many words, it was better that they made the cat collateral, because at least I would have a cat. But that's what happens. So trust me, lawyers, and you know what the best part is? They still wanted the money. They still, listen, we did the job, we messed up, but we still want the money. Still want the money. So they feel bad? No. Point being is this. Choose your lawyers wisely. That's point 1. Point 2, double check everything and don't trust anyone. That's point 2. Point number 3 is, when you do work, you have to get paid. This is what I tell always. I tell people this in general. Listen, yes, I know I'm a rabbi, but I still have, a businessman body. And, if you're going to be working in the world, make the most amount of money you can in a legitimate way. Don't be humble when it comes to making a living. Like, don't be like, oh, because I'm Jewish, I'm going to do things for a discount. It's not a mitzvah to do things for a discount. It's not a mitzvah to do things for a discount. There's no mitzvah of being a discount broker or being a discount merchant. There's no mitzvah there. Whatever you do, whatever it's worth, charge that. Why? Because you're working. If you think you're worth $1,000 an hour, charge $1,000 an hour. You think you're worth $500 an hour, charge $500 an hour. Why? You're already working. If you're not going to do that, go learn. If you want to live just paycheck to paycheck, barely eating, be an avrech. Don't go to work at all then. Might as well. Be an avrech. But if you're going to already work, if you're already going to be an engineer, a builder, a lawyer, or whatever you're going to be, and you're doing legitimate business, again, I'm assuming everything you're doing is legitimate. Make your money. Do whatever you can. Charge whatever you charge. Don't think twice. Don't feel bad for it. And by the way, as like a little side note of a person that knows a little bit about money, people don't like discounts. As much as people will make you think, no, I only buy in discount, the guy that only buys a discount, he's not a good customer. You know who's a good customer? The guy that doesn't buy discounts. He wants to buy the most expensive. That's the guy you want. That's the guy you want. Who are the most successful companies in the world? It's not the dollar stores. I promise you. Dollar stores are always on the verge of bankruptcy. You know who's the most successful? Apple. Coca-Cola. Why? Because they charge a lot. They charge a lot, but they make sure it's worth it. The first company said, listen, you want a phone? $1,000. What do you mean $1,000? I could buy a phone for $50. I get for free. Why would I buy a phone for $1,000? Because it's the best. And they delivered. And now they're, I don't know, $500 billion company, whatever they are. The point is that people want to pay more, but they want to get what they want. So if you can deliver what people want, you should feel perfectly fine charging whatever you want to charge for it. But if you're, if you're a con artist, then it's better you charge for a discount. At least you'll go to Gainum for a little shorter time. But the point is that, if you're doing business honestly, with integrity, don't be a discount broker. Don't be a discount person. Charge your money, do your thing, and it's not a sin to make money. But again, it's under the understanding that you're doing business honestly. And as far as the customer, sometimes the customer wins, sometimes the customer loses. If you did your best and you delivered what the contract and understanding is, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You did the best you possibly can. It's not your fault the patient died. You did your best. If you were negligent, then that's your problem. Then obviously you have to pay for it and you'll get sued and so on. The reason why the doctor, by the way, as a side note, the reason why the doctor, that killed the patient still charges $50,000 or $100,000 or $250,000 for a surgery, even though he killed the patient, is because he knows he did his best. And he also knows that if he was negligent, then he's on the line for millions and millions of dollars of lawsuits. You understand? So he knows that at some point someone's going to sue him because at some point he's going to mess up. Even if he doesn't mess up, you're going to get sued at some point. The more business you do, the more likely you have to get sued, especially in America. So he's charging a full bill because he knows that if the table was returned and he messed up somewhere, that patient, that family, that grandchild is going to sue him for everything he and his descendants will ever have. Why? Because that's the way people are. It's a kill or be killed mentality. So again, if you're doing business honestly, with integrity, according to the Torah, you should have no problem charging a full price and perhaps even a premium if you could actually deliver what you say you can deliver. The problem that I find with people is not that they charge too much or that they charge too little. The problem that I find with people, and I've dealt with thousands of people in business over the years, is that they can't even deliver what they promise. The overwhelming majority of people are liars by default. They're simply just con men. People simply cannot even deliver what they promise. Forget about the over-promising. No. They tell you, listen, I'm going to sell you this paper. 10 cents paper. I'm going to give you, 100,000 of them. Okay, so I'll pay you $10,000 for this paper. Delivery comes, half the papers are missing. What do you mean? I paid you for a full paper. Listen, this was what the print was. Okay, but I'm not paying you. No, what do you mean not paying me? That's what happens. People simply cannot even deliver what they say. If you deliver what you say in this world, you're already worth a premium. You're already worth the premium. If you do a good job, I'll hire you. I don't even know what you do, I'll hire you. I'll pay for it. I'll buy it just because it's the right thing. That's how hard it is to find people that are honest in the world today. People think that dishonesty is the only way to get ahead in the world. And that's become the standard. So if you're doing business honestly, charge your price. Just make sure you're more concerned about delivering what you promised than you are about price. Price is not significant. According to the Torah, you can charge whatever you want to charge. Again, as long as it's worth it. You can't sell this thing and you could buy it on the internet for 5 cents and you tell them no, it's worth $5,000. That's not allowed. That's not honest. But if your business is worth something, especially service business, it's not a problem for you to make a living. No problem.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בלשונות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכרו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
מיאמי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
כן.